You thought autism was a single spectrum. Well, science has just discovered something that changes everything. A finding that could rewrite how millions of people are diagnosed, supported, and even understood. And the most surprising thing is, you don't know it yet. For decades, the word autism seemed sufficient. We talked about a single spectrum with individual differences but without clear subcategories. So it was assumed that even if one child could speak at age 2 and another at age 5, they both shared the same biological root. This is how broad labels like autism spectrum disorder (ASD) came about. But this always left a question hanging in the air. How is it possible that two people with the same diagnosis live such different realities? Imagine two children diagnosed on the same day. Lucas, who speaks fluently and loves to memorize dinosaur facts. Mateo, who barely pronounces words and gets easily overwhelmed by any change. Both are autistic, but their needs, behaviors, and futures are completely different. A team from Princeton and the Simons Foundation set out to solve this mystery. Could it be that autism isn't one, but several, and we just haven't seen it yet? To answer this, they conducted one of the most ambitious studies to date. They analyzed over 5,000 children, reviewed their full DNA, evaluated their cognitive and behavioral development, and cross-referenced all that information with neurological data. What they were looking for was a pattern that would explain why two people with the same diagnosis could be so different. To understand it, just look at two real stories. Valentina, 10 years old, she loves to draw house plans, is brilliant with numbers, but the school bell drives her crazy. Even so, she communicates well and is independent. Ignacio, the same age, he barely speaks, needs help getting dressed, and changes in his routine deeply dysregulate him. They are both autistic, but the diagnosis doesn't explain their differences. After months of analysis, the scientists found what they were looking for. Certain genes were repeated in children with early language difficulties. Others appeared in cases with sensory hypersensitivity, and a third group combined specific cognitive strengths with motor challenges. The pattern was clear. Autism was not a single universe. It was several biological worlds coexisting under the same label. The study published in Nature Genetics confirmed a single autism does not exist. There are 4 biological and clinical subtypes. Language subtype, genetics linked to early communication; motor subtype, differences in motor coordination circuits; sensory cognitive subtype, hypersensitivity, and skill peaks. Mixed subtype, combines traits from the other 3. For the first time, biology supports what families have always known: not all autism is the same. But here's the most interesting part: these biological subtypes don't replace what we use clinically today, the DSM-5. The DSM-5 classifies autism into 3 levels of support. Level 1 requires support. Level 2 requires substantial support. Level 3 requires very substantial support. Its approach is functional, based on social communication and repetitive behaviors and rigidity. Its major limitation is that it measures impact, not biology. 2 children at the same level can have completely different biological origins. The new subtypes, on the other hand, explain the biological why. A child with the motor subtype may be at level 1 because they function well socially, even if they need help getting dressed or writing. Another with the language subtype may be at level 2 or 3, even if they belong to the same subtype as someone with a better prognosis. In summary, the DSM-5 says how much support you need today. The biological subtypes explain why your autism is the way it is. The researchers themselves warn that this finding is only the beginning. It will still be years before these subtypes are integrated into official diagnoses and translated into personalized support. But the message is powerful. Autism is not a uniform mystery. It's 4 biological worlds, each with its own rhythm and unique way of existing. Perhaps in the future, we will stop saying autism as a general term and start talking about these 4 realities, understanding that each person deserves to be seen as unique.